Hey, I'm going to go ahead and start the live stream.
All right.
Morning, Matthew and Karen. Looks like we've got good video. We'll just leave you muted until later in the meeting. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and start the live stream.
Jim, we got about one more minute. I'll let you know when we can get going. All right, it's 9 o'clock, Jim. You can go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah, we're set.
Okay. We'll call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United
United
States
States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The meeting will be recorded and live streamed to YouTube, where the public will have the opportunity to view the meeting live and access it in the future. Request that the recording secretary will ask for roll call votes on all votes at the meeting today. The public meeting attendees will be able to listen by telephone call-in and participate in public comments by following the directions in the public notice for this meeting. Zoning Board of Appeals members and staff will not be muted in the meeting and will be respectful to each other. Have patience as we go on with the meeting, and the next item is the approval of the agenda as presented. Please state your name first.
I'm Riley. I move to approve the agenda.
Philip Vogel, I'll second it.
Motion by Tom, supported by Phil.
Yes.
We'll have a roll call vote now.
Mr. Vogel,
Yes.
Mr. Riley,
Yes.
Mr. Duffett,
Yes.
Mr. Wines,
Yes.
4-0, motion carries.
On the roll call votes, we have to remember to give our name first. Our first name. Minutes for the meeting of June 17, 2020. Are there any additions or corrections?
There are none.
Hearing none, we will have, please have a
I'm
motion.
sorry.
Support.
I'm sorry. I jumped ahead on you, Jim. Go ahead. You're looking at minutes.
Yeah,
I thought you were asking for agenda. I apologize. Go ahead.
okay. So the minutes for the June 17, 2020 meeting, any additions or corrections?
Brent
Is there a
Duffett,
motion
I'll
and
move
support?
that we approve the minutes.
Second, Tom Riley, second.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Wines,
Yes.
Mr. Vogel,
Yes.
Mr. Riley,
Yes.
Mr. Duffett,
Yes.
4-0, motion carries.
Motion passed 4-0. We'll open the meeting for public comment. For public participants who have been muted are interested, speaking, press number 9 on the telephone keypad to raise their hand.
You actually have to press *9, Jim.
*9, yes.
At this point in time, we have no public that is on the call.
With no public on the call, Jim, you can go ahead and close the public comment.
Okay, close the meeting to public comment. Number 6 on the agenda is variance 20-03, Matthew and Karen McDaniel, Coldwater Township. Ray, would you go
Ray.
ahead and fill us in on this request, please?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. This is variance number 20-03. As the chairman said, Matthew and Karen McDaniel. The address of the property is 7423 North Coldwater Road. It's in Coldwater Township, section 26. It's actually located on the west side of Coldwater Road between Coleman to the north and Battle to the south. The applicant has submitted an application for a front yard setback, a variance for a front yard setback of 3 feet where 50 feet is required in the Ag 3 district. That's the agricultural buffer district. We got the application back in early June. Attached to it was a site plan, several supplemental maps, as well as a narrative from the applicant which addressed the criteria in section 1404C. After talking to the applicant, as indicated on their site plan, they're looking to construct an addition to their dwelling to connect the existing home and the existing garage that is on the property. It's important to note that the existing home, the placement of the existing home and the proposed addition would not be any closer to the road right-of-way than what is already there. So their addition would be in line with the front of the house connecting the existing garage. On the back side of the property, let me bring up the site plan for you. This is the submitted site plan on screen. On the back side of the property, they indicate that there's a wetlands to the west, as well as the Boger drain that runs north-south on the property. This is the existing house, their proposed addition, and the existing garage. Staff also produced a wetland map that we sent along with the packet to the Zoning Board of Appeals. So not only are they not getting any closer to the road right-of-way than what is existing, they're not getting any closer to the wetlands or the existing drain than what is already existing. So they're not getting closer to any of those features. In regards to the drain, staff talked to the drain commissioner's office. The Boger drain on this map runs north-south approximately here. And the drain office indicated that it is a 100-foot right-of-way on that drain. That's 50 feet on either side, 50 feet on the east, 50 feet on the west. Staff took a couple of just rough measurements using our GIS to the existing home, and it appears they're about 50 to 60, maybe 65 feet from that drain right-of-way. Staff has included a condition, a recommended condition, if the Zoning Board of Appeals is going to make an approval on this request, that the applicant just provide a copy or a letter from the drain commissioner's office, just verifying that they're not constructing within the drain right-of-way. We just want to get that verification from the drain right-of-way. After reviewing the application, it does appear to be complete. We have posted the request in the Morning Sun as per state law and sent out all the proper notifications for the public hearing. We hadn't received any written communications for or against this variance request, but I did get a call from Jim Dagg, who's the supervisor up in Coldwater Township, and he did express his support as well as the township support for this variance request. Staff has given you in your packet all of the zoning ordinance language in section 1404C, as well as sample motion, which includes the recommended condition. Normally on an application like this, we would also, because of the wetlands and the drain that is there, we'd recommend a condition of a soil erosion permit be obtained. They have already applied for, we have it in our office, the soil erosion permit application, so that wasn't necessary on this. Other than that, unless Tim has anything to add, I don't have anything else for the board unless you have questions for me.
I would just add and quickly note that, while it appears that the existing structures, including the garage, are relatively close to the right-of-way, that 3 feet, there is no obstruction for vehicles moving in and out of that. I know we deal with this a lot when we get around the lakes, where not only is the right-of-way large, but the parcels are quite small. That sometimes, just backing out of a garage puts you out into the roadway. We don't have that type of a situation here. It is quite a distance still to the road surface itself from the home, even though the setback is 3 feet. And as you'll note on the site plan, it is not coming any closer to the road. This house is 700 and some square feet, if I recall. It's a pretty small structure, and they're only moving the livable space of it up to about 1,000 or a little over 1,000 square feet. So just wanted to make those notes before you guys got into your discussion. That's all I have, Jim. If you wanted to have the applicant speak, this would be the time to
Okay.
do so.
All right. Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
Would the applicant wish to address the board and state your justification for the variance request?
Yeah, thank you. Ray pretty much hit all the points that we were going to hit on, that we're not going any closer to the road, and we're not going to be going any farther back to the drain area, not infringing on those wetlands, and that Tim had hit on, that our drive access is still accessible enough, or safe enough for accessibility from the road for cars to get in and out of there.
Could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Matthew McDaniel, 7423 North Coldwater Road, Lake.
Anything else you'd like to say?
I think we're all set.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Now I open the meeting to public comment. Those interested in speaking, press *9 on the telephone keypad to raise their hand.
At this time, Mr. Chairman, there are no public participating in the meeting.
Thank you, Ray. Okay, we'll close the meeting to public comment. And the board now has an opportunity to discuss the request. Please state your name before you begin your comments. First name.
Brent Duffett, the only other thing I noticed that goes hand in hand maybe with the limiting factor of going to the west. I did notice there's some power lines out there also. So I'm sure there's probably going to be some sort of easement for those power lines, which would be a limiting factor to go west also.
Anyone
I
else?
think this is Tim again, Jim. Just looking at this parcel with its shallowness, running, a little wider than deep, the wetlands and the, restrictions to the existing structure, there's just not a whole lot of options. This is a pretty classic variance request due to the fact that there are no other, options for them to add on to what is a relatively small, maybe half the size of most houses that are being built today.
Anyone else?
No.
If there aren't any other further comments or questions of the applicant, well, I would ask that we have a roll call vote. Or excuse me, a motion and support.
Brett Duffett, based on a review of 1404C, they're limiting with the wetlands and the power lines. The addition will not be closer to the road than what's already there. They didn't create the issues with the property. I don't think it'll be detrimental to any of the neighbors, anybody else. No, as Tim pointed out, there's no site restrictions. I would make a motion that we approve this variance based on getting confirmation from the Drain Commission that they're not building inside of the right of way for the drain.
Philip Vogel, I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion, we have support. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Riley,
yes,
Mr. Duffett,
Yes.
Mr. Wines,
Yes,
Mr. Vogel,
Yes.
4-0, motion carries.
okay, I guess that's it. At this point, are there any staff comments?
Staff has no additional comments other than, we're kind of at an unknown with this new world of Zoom meetings. Currently, we are, the executive order of the governor carries us through the end of this month to hold virtual type meetings due to the fact that we have to advertise so far in advance. Likely next month's meeting would be in a virtual type of capacity as well, just because of the notification period, even if the executive order runs out. But as long as the executive order continues, we'll continue down this road. So we'll just kind of keep you posted with regard to this new fandangled virtual world that we live in.
Okay. Ray, anything to say?
No, sir, nothing I'd say except just comment, if I may, to the McDaniels. I'll give you a call if you have time later today and discuss your next steps.
Okay, staff comments completed. Anyone on the board want to speak?
We need some rain.
Okay,
Fact.
you want Ray or Tim to work on that one?
Yes, please.
I'm going on vacation in 2 weeks, and so it's guaranteed to rain. So
Are you
it'll rain the
camping?
week of the 25th when I'm on vacation. So.
hey, I have a question. Tom Riley.
Go ahead, Tom.
I'm supposed to sign the minutes, so do you want me to come in there to sign them, or you're just gonna send them to me like in the past?
Tom, I'll just send those to you, send that signature page to you, and then you can just mail that back to me.
Okay,
Okay, is there a motion for adjournment?
so moved.
Motion by Riley.
Tom.
Tom. Supported by
Second, Phil Vogel.
Brett. No, Phil. Supported by Phil. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Wines,
Please, yes.
Mr. Vogel,
Yes.
Mr. Riley,
Yes,
Mr. Duffett,
Yes.
4-0, motion carries.
That's it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll see you next month.
Have a great day.
Okay, though.